The funny thing about going into Armadale is that I actually wanted to go. So I was actually looking forward to it until I actually got there and saw what it was like.
Perched on a hill in Alexandria, St. Anne, the Armadale Juvenile Correctional Center began housing juveniles in 1991. The facility was originally meant to accommodate some 45 girls, but that number was quickly exceeded. The girls were originally housed in a two-story building, but that was abandoned after a fire in 2006. Two buildings on the property were then converted to house the girls.
The first day I walked into Armadale, these girls at the they started screaming out, "B.O.B. she look good, why?" And then I went inside the dormitory and everybody was basically walking naked. Everybody was naked and whining on each other, and they were beating music and singing. And I was like, whoa, this is the first time I ever saw this.
After spending just over a week in the juvenile facility, Candine was caught in the Armadale blaze.
Coming up to the night that you could actually feel it was going to happen, something was going to happen. All of a sudden, I saw one of the girls came down from one of the windows, which was the first window. And the girls started to beating out the window with a iron, because there was an iron over the window. No, it was over the cabinet that was inside the dormitory. So they had taken that down and they would start beating it out. The police came and the girls then said, all right, I want to distract them. Somebody said, let's distract them. So while they were throwing water through this window, they were actually at the other window taking down the grill and breaking out the boards. So a police lady and a guy came and the female was talking. Everything went calm for a while because everybody was listening to the lady. Then now the girls started to argue with the guy for some reason. I saw him walk away. I didn't know what after. All of a sudden, my eyes went dark. I can't see anything. I'm like, okay, the lights just went out in my head. Then all of a sudden, I can't breathe. So I was thinking it was my asthma or something. I can't breathe and I'm trying to take in air and no air. So the dam went dead, really, really quiet. So I figured out, my mind said something happened, jump off the decker. So I jumped off the bed and I ran through the window.
By this time, the dorm was on fire and the smoke had already engulfed the small room. The Armadale blaze was claiming its victims.
I couldn't breathe or anything. I was running to the window. I ran back, I fell to the ground, and I realized the ground was really hot. So I jumped up back and I ran back to the window. I gave up, I fell to the ground again. I got up back, I ran to the window. I was like, I'm gonna come out one by one. Somehow, most of the girls got through the window. And when I turned around, I saw a fire, so I thought it was on my face.
The screams grew louder and louder. When Candine finally escaped the inferno, she was greeted by chaos on the lawns of Armadale.
So I looked up on the field and I saw everybody was running around. So I ran to the car. When I got to the car, I didn't even see when that car got inside, but it got there. So I ran to it and I went in the back seat and I got on the radio and I was like, come in, Armadale abandoned. Come in, because I saw it on the TV, so I was like using my head. And I was, come in, Armadale abandoned. And then two girls came inside, they were on the front seat and they turned around and they see me and they're like, Jesus Christ, Duppy. And they run out. So I was like really surprised because I know I'm a pretty girl. So I was like, what did them idiot there? So when I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw that something was wrong with my face. My face was really, really black. And I looked at my hands. I saw it was black and white, but I don't know, like my eyes weren't working or something. Then I take a good glimpse. I saw that the skin was hanging down and the flesh was like there. So then I went crazy. I was like, Jesus, make it burn. So when I looked at the field, I see everybody running. So I jumped out of the vehicle and I started running around as well. I see them under the pipe. I went under the pipe as well. I wet up my hands and wet up my feet and my face. So then it started to like really, really burn now.
Surviving the Armadale fire was only the beginning of another type of struggle for those who were seriously injured.
The family started coming in and they started crying. You know, if I can't see because my eyes were closed, they couldn't see my eyes. I didn't have a nose. It could, my mouth, you could barely hear me speak because my mouth was swollen. You couldn't see my lips. I didn't have any hair on my head. So I lost all my hair. My eyes were killing me. I could barely see. I had to lift my head like that, and I didn't have any nose. So everybody was like, Jesus, is you going to stay for the rest of your life? And they were crying, and it was depressing having them. So I had to like ban some of my visits. I had to like tell the wardresses, like, I don't want to see this person. I don't want to see my grandma. Because it was depressing because everybody was coming and crying.
The scars from Armadale aren't only physical. The nightmares continue.
When I was at the hospital, Armadale happened every single night in my head. Every night. It's not like maybe you won't understand what I'm saying, but I'm trying to tell you that it happened every night. Every time I close my eyes, I can see it. I can see, even when they told me that the girls had died, I could see them actually die inside. I was like, I was them and I was dying in there. I could feel it. And today it's the same. Because every time I smell smoke, I don't cook because I'm afraid of it. I don't cook. And every time like I smell somebody like smoking near to me or something, I feel like I'm inside the building, so I get really agitated and get angry. The heat, when the sun is too hot, the smoke. If I'm someplace, my eyes is closed and somebody screams, I like jump up and run because it's like it's happening in my head. Especially the screaming, because they like hearing the girls screaming all the time.
She admits that the physical scars are easier to deal with than the mental ones.
I can look at the scars on my hands, and I can say, you know what, I'm not gonna let you define me. If people don't want to get to know me because of my scar, well, let them stay where they are. They don't have to know me. I'm glad for the people that are around me, even though I have these scars. But the mental scars, no, I don't know what to do about them. I am afraid of heat. I don't know what to do about that.
She points out that despite the fact that there was some psychological intervention for survivors immediately after the fire, it didn't go far enough, and now no one remembers them.
When Armadale was hot, let me say, when everybody was like, Armadale, Armadale, well, we got psychological intervention, but after a while and everything died down, it just ended like that.
But Candian is working hard to ensure that the survivors of the Armadale blaze aren't forgotten. In addition to filing a lawsuit against the government to get compensation, she's also fighting to launch an Armadale survivors group.
I am a survivor. I think it comes with surviving, taking on the attitude, and I think I have a responsibility. Before the fire, let me tell you, I thought I didn't have a purpose. I was just living, really. I was just living and just say, yeah, I'm living today, maybe tomorrow I die or whatever. But I just feel like I have a purpose right now.